Here at St. Vladimir's, we all know the dangers that lurk outside our gates.
I want to do my sworn duty. I want to protect my best friend from danger.
Noticed you sent some Mortal Kombat, so it's a pleasure. But we got to get into the current series, Vampire Academy. What can you tell us personally about the finale?
The finale? Oh, okay. I mean, it's giving what all the other episodes are giving. It's giving romance, it's giving action. We have fights, we have, friendship, turmoil, magic, all of that. So I watched episode 9 and 10 for the first time, or maybe 9, and both of them for the first time. Okay. So in my mind, I can't quite remember what is 9 and what is 10, but I'm going to do my best.
Gotcha.
You can expect a lot of your questions to be answered, but you can expect 10 times more questions to pop up in their place.
I like that answer. And then because it is such a different type of series, what originally made you interested in playing roles? Were you a fan of the book series?
Yeah, I was a huge fan of the books. When I was a kid, my sister had them. I read them. I loved them. I was obsessed with the movie. And we all have our criticisms of the movie, but it was like it fed me. Because it was the only Vampire Academy visual content that we had, so it fed me, and I watched that thing 7 times during filming in Spain. It's like a comfort movie for me, So I watched it when it came out. I loved it. I knew this character. By the time I got the audition, I knew this character, and I was like, there's no way. No way. And then as I got along in the audition process, I got closer and closer to it. And then I was like, this actually could be real. This is actually a possibility for me in my life right now. And then it happened, and my sister was overjoyed. Everyone was overjoyed. And I was just like, as a book fan, how amazing is it to be able to play a character that you've known for years.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's wonderful. It was meant to be, that's all.
Yeah, hell yeah. I manifest now. That's my thing now, so I manifested it.
Yeah, there you go. And then around here, we love Billy Woodruff. So as a former LaFace and as a former LaFace intern myself, I have to ask you, what was it like working with him on the pilot?
He's the best. He's the best. He makes you so comfortable, and everything feels really not relaxed, but there's just this calm when he's directing. And so you go into your thing and you're like, oh, am I doing enough? And he's like, that was great. And you're like, oh, okay. Okay, cool. And then it's cool because you don't really get nervous because of that calm energy.
Right.
And he's just great. He's a good director. He communicates. He leaves a lot of room for the actors to do what they need to do. And he was just the best person to be, the first director that we ever had on this show. Having said that, I went out to dinner with him and Janetta the other day. Oh
wow, okay.
The other day, what? Being a month ago.
Right.
You know how it is. We went out for dinner with him in LA, and it was just great. It was just great to see him, and me and him and Jojo talk shit and reflected on our time and spoke about the episodes and the seasons and everything coming out. So that was great. I love him. I love him so much.
Yeah, I love him too. He's such good people. So I love to hear that.
He's a real one. And it was really nice to have a Black director first as well. That was really fucking cool as well.
Exactly.
For everyone, it was lovely.
that had to set up the imprint correctly, a certain way of doing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now that you mentioned that. And then I have to ask about the cast. What was it like, or what is it like working with the cast? What's the most enjoyable for you?
Well, there's so bloody many of us. Like, there's a huge ensemble cast, and I've worked in an ensemble cast before, but nothing to this degree. Like, this is really huge.
Yeah.
And with that comes such a breadth of experience, of perspective, of approach, you know, in acting and otherwise. And it's really cool because so many of us are from different places all around the world. Like, there's like America, and then there's Canadians, and there's British people. I'm the only Australian, which did surprise me. But that's, you know, that's neither here nor there. If we do get an Australian person come in who's on the crew or something, I hear the accent and my ear pricks up every time. But you know, like, yeah, it was just very, very cool to have so many different people in the same place, and people of different ages as well. Like Jay August, I don't know how old he is. I just know he's not in my age bracket, which is fantastic because he is able to just instill all of us with all of his knowledge. And like my best friend Richie, he is like a diehard fan of Angel and Gun, and so he lost his mind when I told him about Jay, and then he came and visited us in Spain for Christmas and stuff.
No, that had to be exciting.
He got to meet Jay and hang out with Jay, and he was just like took selfies, and like he was overjoyed.
Nice.
And like Jay August has just had that career, you know what I mean? Like, and doing vampires and doing like working with Julie Plex. So he has so much knowledge and experience that is valuable to the rest of us, all of us. And I remember this is so dumb, but I remember like one of the first times we met him, it was me and Kieran and Andre at the hotel in Madrid, and we went up to the rooftop for some drinks and food and stuff. And this was the first time that we'd really met him or hung out with him. And to pay, he pulled out like some crazy card. It was like a gold card, and we all held it, and it was really heavy, and we were like a bunch of like, you know, a bunch of kids that grew up.
Right.
Like, you know, like me and Kieran grew up like very much working class. And Andre was a child actor, so he was working, but you know what I mean? Like we all come from very humble beginnings. And so he pulled this card out, and we all went, oh, what's that? And he was like, there's no way. And we all took turns holding it and being like, oh, it's so heavy. And he was like, this is the coolest moment because I'm seeing all of you young people at the very beginning of your career. And something like this is exciting to you, like, and he's like, and I will see you, you know, in the rest of your career, build yourselves up and become more successful, and I get to, you know, I get to have this memory of you freaking out over a card when I know that in the future you're going to be doing crazy things, and this isn't going to even be half of an afterthought. Which was really cool. That was like a cool moment that we all had together at the very beginning of this massive journey, you know, and now we're here, and just like even thinking about it and reminiscing about it is like, wow. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
It brings a smile to your face. I love it.
Exactly.
And the fact that you said, now that we're here at the finale, you have to tell our viewers, even though they already know, but you have to tell our viewers why they need to watch the finale tomorrow or Thursday on Peacock.
All right, the finale. Again, I want to make sure I'm not saying anything I should. No. Okay, so we should watch the finale because, like I said, a lot of questions are going to be answered, questions that we have. A lot of questions are going to come up as well, but there are a couple of huge twists that I think are going to gag everyone. I know I was gagged. I'd read the script. I'd acted it out. I was in Spain filming, and then I watched episode 10 and I was like, no way! So, you know, it's great. I cried. I laughed. You know, the action is there. It's really thrilling, and a couple of huge, like, emotional things happen that, like, punch you in the chest. And you get to see sort of the resolution of some relationships as well. And people that you enjoy seeing together or apart may come together or fall apart. So obviously I can't say anything, but
right.
It's amazing. And I had despite having read the script multiple times, literally acting it out, I was still shocked. So, you know, there's a lot of good stuff in there for everybody.
Nice. Can't wait. And then switching gears, I couldn't speak to you without talking about Mortal Kombat. So I would personally want to know, what was like the most memorable experience you had while shooting it?
My first ever day on set. We were in a coal mine, and we were filming the scene where I'm walking along the mountain ridge in Outworld. So we were filming at sunrise, so it was like, it was dark when we got there and the sun was still coming up. It was fucking freezing, like so cold. And so they and this fabulous thing happens sometimes when you're an actor, is they'll call action, and if you're cold, you're in pain, whatever, you just forget about it for a second. And then they call cut, and you're like, oh fuck, where am I? So they would call cut, and they'd have to, I had like 7 people run up to me with multiple blankets, a hot tea, a hot water bottle. Like, it was crazy cold. It was the wind. It was the time of day. And then also it was the first time wearing my costume, and I'm literally wearing like a hard leather corset and chainmail. And so the chainmail, I hadn't worn it yet. The chainmail was rubbing against the inside of my arm, cutting me, and the hard leather was pinching me on both sides. So I was actually bleeding into my costume on the very first day because I hadn't worn it and I didn't know yet. We just, like, how are we to know how it was going to be my body? So I'm freezing cold, bleeding, like scarring, all of this stuff. And I just remember it being literally the best day of my life. I was like, this is the best day of my life. I was almost crying from all this shit I was going through, but I was like, this is the best day. This is the best day of my life.
Nice.
So, yeah, I guess that's my most memorable experience. Obviously, every other experience I had was amazing. I really loved all the scenes where it was almost the whole ensemble cast, you know, together. That was really, really cool, because it's just, there's something I really love about acting in a scene but not saying anything. So you're there, but you just get to sit back and act to the scene and you know, watch what the other actors are doing. I love doing that. So there was a few times where I got to do that as Melina, you know, when we come in to the fight pit through a portal and everyone's there, and I just get to watch this conversation between everyone. Like, yeah. So I loved that stuff. Everyone was amazing. I hung out with Louis when I was in LA. I met Louis at the Cosmopolitan party, which was really cool. So I got to hang out and catch up with him. And when I go back, I'll probably catch up with more of them. I think most of the cast were out of LA when I visited. I did send a message to the group chat. But yeah, they're amazing people, amazing actors. And every day on set was the best day of my life, truly.
Well, classic. That's a heck of a way to start your career in a classic. So that's beautiful.
Right.
And then before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to leave with our viewers or your fans about upcoming projects or quotes or anything?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Shameless self-promotion hour. I love it. I just went to the Adelaide Film Festival for a film that I just did, and it's called Carnifex. And it's what I like to call an eco-thriller horror. And it's about the environment and scientists that go into the environment, out into the bush in Australia post-fires. So everything's kind of fucked up. And so these people are going out there to try and conserve the wildlife, you know, and sort of save the planet. And then we run into a prehistoric marsupial, which is it's intimidating, and it's scary, and it's mysterious because it should be extinct. There's no way that this could be around. And then its primal behavior is to hunt people in its territory. So let's just say we get hunted, and then a bunch of crazy things ensue, and it's a great
that's interesting. I can't wait.
I watched it for the first time the other day at the Adelaide Film Festival, and it was fucking great. It was great. It was really good, and it shows the Australian bush and nature and the wildlife. I'm holding a koala. That was my first scene. So yeah, if you're interested in horror, if you're interested in the environment, any of that, it's a really good horror film. So Carnifex, check it out.
Definitely.
It'll be in cinemas soon. So yeah. Thank you for giving me a spotlight for that.
No problem. Our pleasure. Well, if we had more time, I would ask more questions, because I definitely want to know about Children of the Corn, but we'll talk another day. But it was such a pleasure.
Okay. Yeah. We'll come back. We'll come back.
Such a pleasure. I'm looking forward to the finale and Children of the Corn and just everything that you're doing next. I can wish you continued success and blessings.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have an amazing night. It's night where you are. Yeah.
You as well.
Have a great night.
Bye.
And I want a life to call my own.
I would never bet against you, Rose Hathaway.
You must prepare Lissa for a new role as the head of the Dragomir family.
And Rose?
She'll do her duty.
I'm the royal princess that needs protecting. Rose gives, and I take and take.
But I can be a leader who ruled not just for the royals, but for all citizens.
Whether you wear the crown or not, you have the power to change things.
There's something strange happening.
I think I can help you.
Christian is a non-starter for a lot of people.
I'll be discreet.
Of course I want to put you first, but I can't.
You can either be guardian or friend, not both.
What's the game plan?
You know me? More of a roll with the punches kind of girl.
The ruler is not just any monarch. Leadership requires sacrifice for the greater good.
I need to fight. We need to fight.
They must be willing to give everything they have. We deserve a better future.
She's my family. I would die for her.